Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing well and keeping safe. So you probably noticed that I've been off the grid for the last 3 weeks or so, and that's because my whole family ended up getting COVID. My wife ended up picking up first. She has no idea. She feels she got it from a grocery store or something like that. My two little ones picked it up as well right after. Luckily, and thank God, they got a very light version of it, and they were able to just, take children's Tylenol and get through it pretty quickly. And then I was the last one to get it from the four of us, and I got it really bad as well. So it was a shit show at our house for about 3.5 weeks, but we all did get it, and now feeling a little superhuman. But that being said, guys, it is absolutely no joke. I had fever for 10 days, extremely high fever for about 3 days. And everything else, every other possible symptom that COVID could throw at me, it threw at me. It was just ridiculous. I don't wish it upon anyone. And I really, really hope you guys stay safe out there. I'm back now and I'm ready to make some videos. I have so much content planned. Unfortunately, I couldn't get to any of that in the last 3 weeks. But here's the first piece that's dropping today. And it's about, is the Model Y a good family car, right? We've owned it for now 3.5 months. Obviously, this was replaced by an Infiniti Q50, but I do have the Range Rover Velar as well that we used as more as a family car. But slowly, actually not even slowly, quite quickly, the Model Y has replaced the amount that we're using the Range Rover Velar, right? Obviously, it's more efficient because it is battery powered, and we don't want to keep pumping gas into the Velar. But that being said, just from an overall experience and owning this, it's been an amazing family car for us, and we really, really enjoy it. So here's the car. I'm gonna walk you through some internal features very, very quickly that will keep your kids entertained, and then I'll walk you through like why I think it's an amazing family car. Right, so let's take a look at the screen and the different entertainment options that you could use and share with your kids, as well as when and where you would possibly use this, right? So obviously we have the browser. You could search whatever it is that you want. Works very similar to like a phone browser or even a computer browser. And then if you click on this little arrow over here to bring up the options, so that's where we're at right now, web. If I click on entertainment and Toybox, and I'll go through both of those very quickly. So entertainment's pretty cool and pretty self-explanatory. So you have 2 tabs here, arcade and theater. Theater obviously has your Netflix, YouTube, Twitch, Tesla tutorials if you want to watch. And then, it's very easy to set up. You basically set this up one time and it'll basically log you in every time after that. Arcade is the other tab, and this is just basically a number of different games. Now, the real reason this is created is when you are sitting at a supercharger and you just want to be entertained while your car is charging, you could go through any one of these things and play, solitaire or whatever it may be, right? But my kids obviously love it as well. So if they go, they actually play Beach Buggy Racing 2, which is a lot of fun. You could actually use a car steering wheel. It could be single player or multiple player. 2-player, you could even get remote controls for this, and they would actually play for a long time. Sometimes they just come in the garage and want to play with the car, and I've let them do that. Obviously, they know not to touch certain parts, just the screen, and that's it. And again, these things only work when the car's on park. Okay, so again, arcade and theater, really cool. Meant for superchargers, but a nice little babysitter as well sometimes if you just need a little peace and quiet. So Toybox is the next one. They kind of like playing around with this as well. There's a few different options. Rainbow Road is pretty cool. When you're on standard autopilot, you just basically pull down on the lever 4 times, and as opposed to 2, and it'll start autopilot for you, and it'll put like a Rainbow Road, and I'll put a video of that up here as well so you see what's going on. So kids like that. And boombox and emissions I'll go into as well, because this is very kind of kid friendly. Boombox is basically could play any different types of sound inside or outside the car, right? It could even be on the horn. So if I click on the horn, it's going to beep, and then it's going to play, for example, look at this DJ sound. Pretty funny, pretty loud as well. And then you just have so many different things like goat, applause, ta-da, fart sounds, etc. So the kids obviously have a blast with this thing, right? And then emissions, you could also play on boombox. You could actually play music, like play current medium, and it'll use the outside speakers to play while driving around and stuff like that. You could have like ice cream truck sounds and all that. So emissions is pretty immature, but obviously I'm pretty immature, so it's awesome. So kids like this as well. You could have all these different ludicrous fart, for example, right? And this is funny if like a passenger comes in the car or something like that and you want to just surprise them. You could put it over here, right? You could also fart on demand by just pressing the left scroll wheel. So that's the entertainment stuff on the screen, guys. Again, as you can imagine, it keeps the kids quite entertained. All right, so as you can see from an entertainment perspective, the car is pretty fully loaded. It's going to keep the whole family quite entertained, even when you're stopping at Superchargers, when you're doing road trips, or as I mentioned, even as a little babysitter, you know, the kids keep themselves quite occupied inside the car. Also, what I forgot to mention was karaoke. So that's actually a lot of fun. We put it on, and the kids and us, we kind of sing along to all the most popular songs. And again, you could do that while driving. Just make sure that, you know, a passenger is controlling the screen and stuff like that. So again, road trips comes in really handy. So guys, I want to break it down into why I think the Model Y is a great family car. So the first thing I think is safety, right? I mean, as you probably know, Tesla is one of the safest cars on the road. And then when you bring in things like autopilot and full self-driving, it really kind of takes that safety to the next level. There's a series of cameras and sensors working in tandem to keep you safe. You know, automatic braking, things like, you know, shifting from one lane to the other. The car will let you know, right? Even stuff like blind spots, it'll actually guide you back into the lane if you don't happen to see the blind spot. So in that sense, I think it's, you know, safety is the #1 reason why you should be considering Tesla and the Model Y specifically. Then from a convenience perspective, right? As parents, we want to have our hands free as much as we possibly can, especially when you have smaller kids in car seats and stuff like that. So I think that the app control everything from the phone. That's very convenient. Even things like you know, starting the car and making sure that the climate is running before you put your baby in there, I think is really, really fantastic. So you're controlling everything from the app, and that helps a lot. And then also things like the proximity stuff, right? And you could set all this up so when you're approaching the car, the doors are going to unlock for you automatically. You get in, you're not fumbling around looking for keys and things like that. And also when you're exiting the car, you just close the car and the car is going to automatically lock for you after you're about 10 feet away from it, right? So things like that, especially as a parent, I think comes in really handy from a convenience perspective. And then the other aspect of convenience is gas stations, right? I mean, we never go to a gas station anymore. We charge a car at home. We hardly even go to Superchargers because we just don't need to. It's more than sufficient charging at home for our everyday running around. That being said, we have done Superchargers, and again, that's super easy, super convenient. Plug it in, sit down, and, you know, enjoy the entertainment system, enjoy Netflix, YouTube. You could eat in the car while you wait for the Supercharger. So all in all, overall, from a convenience perspective, it's super, super practical, right? Owning this car as a parent and as a family car. What else? The space, as you can see, it's quite spacious in here. I'm around 5'10", and you could see there's plenty of headspace in the car. The seats are extremely comfortable. There's a lot of space regardless of where you're sitting. There's the trunk with ample space for storage. There's also the frunk, which is the front trunk. And again, I did a video specifically on those two areas and just the overall space in the car. So check that out if you haven't already. But the front comes in very handy as well, right? I mean, we use it for school bags in the morning before we drop the kids in at school. It's just the way their school is set up, and when you park, you're parking in front of a sidewalk where you would walk into school. So having the backpacks in the front actually makes a lot more sense from a safety perspective, as opposed to going to the back where cars are going back and forth there. So we covered safety, we covered convenience, we covered space. There's ample space in this car. And then lastly, what I would say is just the cool factor, right? I mean, it's a really cool car. It's loaded with some of the latest technology that you would find in any automobile. And I think Tesla does a fantastic job with it. Over there, our updates are really cool as well. And, you know, you could always expect the latest and greatest from Tesla. And then lastly, I guess as a bonus, is the cost of ownership, right? Yes, I mean, the car is, you know, at that premium or luxury price range. But the reality is, you know, we're not changing oil on this car like we do with a gas car, right? We're not changing the brakes on this car like we are on a gas car. The brakes are supposed to be changed once every 2-3 years because of the regen braking on the Tesla. Oil changes is not really even a thing, right? So things like that, there's substantial savings. And then from a gas perspective, there's substantial savings as well. And I'm estimating a monthly energy cost at around $30 to $50 a month to charge this car. And I will be looking at those numbers, and I will be going over costs with you on a future video as well. So guys, there's absolutely no negatives, I don't think, owning this car. We've had a lot of fun with it. Even the glass roof here is really cool, right? I mean, like in the summertime, we'll go in, we'll roll down our seats, we'll park at a park, especially now with the pandemic, and we'll just eat in the back. We'll have a little picnic in the car. We'll look up, we'll lie down and look up. At the end of the day, just the view here is really beautiful with this full piece of glass. We've done things like this, like camping mode in this car. There's pet mode in this car. So if you have pets, and you know, again, not recommended, but if you have to run into the store for five minutes or so, you could actually keep the car at a certain temperature, and it'll also display on your screen that, you know, the car is at a temperature and the owner will be back soon, so that way your pet's comfortable inside the car. Camping mode is pretty cool as well. It keeps the car at a certain temperature as you sleep. What we did was like a in-garage little camping night, and what we did there was we rolled down the seats, we brought our blankets and pillows, put on Netflix, chilled in the car for about 2 hours, and then we went back inside, and the kids loved it, right? So lots of cool little things that makes this car fantastic to own. And from a family perspective, I definitely give it 2 thumbs up. If you are considering, EV as your next family car, if you are more specifically considering Tesla Model Y as your next family car, 2 thumbs up, as it's an amazing car. All right, guys, enjoy the video. Please like, please subscribe, and a lot more content coming up. Take care and have a good one.